Milo and Koro stepped carefully through the corridors of the lost human ship. The soft hum of the ship's systems echoed around them, mingling with the faint creaks of old metal. Milo's heart raced with excitement. Every room held a mystery, every console a story waiting to be uncovered. The balcony nights, the blinking lights in the sky, they had all led to this moment. "This place is amazing," Milo whispered, brushing his hand over a dusty panel. "It's like stepping back in time. Everything the crew left behind, it's all here." Koro's eyes glowed softly. "And yet, it remains functional. Your human insight revived it? Few species could do this." Milo smiled. "We notice patterns. We try, even when it's hard. That's what got us here." They entered the control room, where panels blinked in sequence. Milo began studying them, tracing lines and symbols, while Koro observed quietly, ready to point out anything unusual. Slowly, Milo realized that the ship was more than a simple transport vessel. Hidden beneath the surface were logs of experiments, exploration missions, and messages intended to reach distant colonies. "Look at this, Koro," Milo said, pointing to one of the panels. The ship was mapping uncharted space. And these messages, they were sent to humans across the galaxy. Somehow, the signal kept running, even when the ship was lost. Koro tilted its head. "It is extraordinary. The persistence, the design, it reflects the human spirit. You never stop trying, even when others might abandon hope." Milo nodded, feeling proud. "Exactly. And that's why we followed the lights. Humans notice things others cannot. We explore, we solve, we connect, and sometimes we discover things that change everything." They moved to a room filled with observation equipment. Screens flickered, showing distant stars, planets, and asteroid fields. Milo ran his fingers over the controls, tracing the paths the ship had charted. "This is incredible," he whispered. "The ship mapped entire regions of space we didn't even know about. And the signals we followed were like breadcrumbs, guiding someone here." Koro hummed, clearly impressed. "Few would have the patience or insight to follow such guidance. You humans, remarkable." Milo's eyes fell on a small sealed compartment. "I wonder what's inside there," he said. Carefully, he opened it, revealing a set of data crystals, glowing faintly with stored information. Milo's heart leapt. These crystals could hold years of knowledge, scientific discoveries, messages, and maps that could benefit the colony and beyond. "We have to study these carefully," Milo said. "If we understand them, we can share this knowledge with everyone. Humans always try to help others by sharing what we learn." Koro shifted closer. "Then let us begin. Your human skill in observation and reasoning is unmatched. Together, we can unlock these secrets." Milo set the crystals into the ship's reading console. Slowly, lines of information appeared, detailing missions, experiments, and discoveries from years ago. Milo's eyes widened as he realized the importance of what they had found. "This isn't just a lost ship," he said softly. "It's a record of human achievement. And we've brought it back." Koro hummed in agreement. "It is proof. Proof that your kind, humans, persist, explore, and innovate. Even in the darkest space, you find a way." Milo felt a warm glow of pride. He thought back to the nights on the balcony, to the blinking lights in the sky, and to the puzzle they had solved together. Everything had led to this discovery. Humans were not just ordinary beings, they had curiosity, patience, and ingenuity that could uncover secrets others could not see. Hours passed as Milo and Koro studied the ship's systems and data. Milo carefully copied maps, recorded experiments, and noted observations, making sure every piece of knowledge was preserved. Koro assisted, offering insights and asking questions that helped Milo think in new ways. Finally, Milo leaned back, exhausted but happy. "We've done it," he said softly. "We've uncovered a treasure trove of human knowledge. And this is only the beginning." Koro's colors shifted like a wave of approval. "Few could accomplish this. Your human spirit, it shines brightly. It is no wonder humans are so admired." Milo smiled. "It's not just me. Humans notice, we explore, we persevere. That's what makes us special. And now, this ship, these discoveries, they will help others see it too." As they looked out the observation window, the stars stretched endlessly before them. Milo felt a deep sense of connection to humans across the galaxy, to the lost crew, and to Koro, who had become a trusted companion. The balcony nights had prepared him for this, teaching patience, observation, and the power of noticing patterns others overlooked. And Milo knew one thing clearly: humans had a way of seeing solutions, finding paths, and uncovering secrets that no one else could. The adventure was far from over, but the lessons of the balcony, and the mysteries of the stars, would guide them forward. For Milo, the lost human ship was more than a discovery. It was proof of human brilliance, persistence, and the spark that made them unique in the galaxy. And with Koro beside him, Milo was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Milo had never seen a city like this. The colony stretched across the plains like a web of light and metal. Buildings rose taller than any he had seen on Earth, and glowing vehicles moved along paths in the sky, leaving streaks of color behind them. He stood at the doorway of his new apartment, carrying a small bag of belongings, and took a deep breath. The smell of the city was strange metal, ozone, and something faintly sweet, unlike anything on Earth. His apartment was small but tidy, with a large window that opened onto a balcony. Milo had always liked balconies. They were small private spaces in big buildings where someone could watch the world without being part of it. He set his bag down and stepped outside. The balcony was narrow, but it gave him a perfect view of the city below. From here, everything looked calm and quiet, but he knew that deep inside the city, machines and people were always moving, always working. Milo's eyes moved to the sky. At first, he only saw stars, distant and cold. But then he noticed something strange. Tiny lights moved across the sky in patterns. Some of the lights blinked in rhythm, as if they were sending messages. Milo frowned. He had seen stars before, but he had never noticed anything like this. On Earth, the stars were random, scattered across the sky. Here, something was different. He leaned against the railing and watched carefully. The lights formed short lines, then curved, then disappeared. Milo's heart beat faster. He was alone, and the city felt huge, but for the first time in weeks, he felt excitement instead of nervousness. Milo had always loved puzzles and patterns. He had loved reading old books about codes and signals. Could these lights be a message? He wondered. A soft noise made him turn his head. At the edge of the balcony, a figure was standing, almost invisible in the shadows. Milo jumped back but then realized the figure was small and calm, watching him curiously. The figure moved forward, revealing a slender shape with smooth, shimmering skin that changed colors slightly in the light. Milo had seen aliens before in images, but this was the first time he had met one in person. "Hello," Milo said slowly. I didn't mean to scare you. The alien tilted its head and made a quiet sound, like a soft hum. Then it spoke in a clear voice that Milo could understand. You watch the stars carefully. Milo nodded. Yes. They are different tonight. He hesitated, unsure how much to say. Do you see them too? The alien's eyes, large and glowing, focused on the sky. Yes. Few notice. You notice. Milo felt a small smile. I guess I like patterns. I like to see what others do not. The alien made another hum, then stepped closer. I am Koro. I have never met a human who watches the sky like this. Milo laughed softly. I'm Milo. I just like to watch. It makes me feel calm, I think. He looked at the sky again. The lights moved faster now, and some of them formed short lines that disappeared as quickly as they appeared. Do you know what those lights mean? He asked. Koro shook its head slowly. I do not. But perhaps you will see something I cannot. Milo felt a thrill. Here was an alien, someone from another world, willing to watch and learn with him. He had moved to the city for work, for a new start, but this was something special. For the next hour, they stood on the balcony in silence, both of them watching the sky. Milo pointed out patterns, small groupings of lights, the way some blinked 3 times in a row. Koro nodded and hummed, asking questions, learning. As night fell deeper, Milo realized that he had never felt so connected to the stars, or to someone else, in his life. The city below continued its endless movement, but on this small balcony, he and Koro shared a quiet understanding. Milo thought about the stories he had read about humans being curious and clever. Maybe that was true. Maybe humans could notice things others missed. Finally, Milo leaned on the railing, feeling tired but happy. I think I will come out here every night, he said. There is something about the lights, something I want to understand. Koro tilted its head and made a small sound that Milo took as agreement. Then I will join you, Koro said. If you allow it? Milo smiled. I'd like that. As he stepped inside to rest, he looked back at the balcony one last time. The lights in the sky were fading, but their rhythm and patterns remained in his mind. Milo felt a spark of excitement he had not felt in a long time. Something was coming, he did not yet know what, and he wanted to be ready. The balcony had become more than just a place to stand. It had become a place of discovery. And for Milo, it was the first night of many nights that would change everything. The next night, Milo returned to his balcony as the city lights flickered below him. The air was cooler now, carrying a faint scent of metal and soft ozone. Milo had been thinking all day about the strange lights he had seen. They were not just stars. They moved in patterns, like someone or something was trying to send a message. His heart beat faster with excitement. When he stepped outside, he noticed Koro already there, waiting at the edge of the balcony. Milo had not expected the alien to come so soon, but he felt a small thrill. You came early, Milo said with a smile. Koro tilted its head, and the colors on its skin shifted softly. I wanted to watch with you again, it said. You notice things differently than others. I am curious. Milo nodded. I like patterns. I like to see things others miss. Do you want to try watching with me? Koro stepped closer, observing the sky with wide glowing eyes. Milo pointed toward the stars. See those lights? They blink sometimes, in groups. And look, they move in short lines, then disappear. Koro hummed and leaned forward. Few notice this. Most focus on the city below, or the fixed stars. You see movement, rhythm. That is unusual for your kind. Milo laughed softly. Maybe. But I like puzzles. I like trying to understand things. He paused and looked closer at the lights. These aren't random. I think they are, like a code. Koro's eyes widened slightly. A code? From whom? Milo shook his head. I don't know yet. But I will try to understand. He felt a thrill of determination. Humans were curious, clever, and persistent. Maybe he could figure this out. The two of them spent hours on the balcony, studying the sky. Milo had brought a small notebook, and he began to draw the patterns of the lights as best as he could. Lines, dots, and curves filled the pages. Koro watched carefully, humming softly, sometimes pointing out shapes Milo had missed. Slowly, a picture began to form, a sequence of flashes that seemed to repeat. Milo's fingers traced the lines, connecting dots in his mind. I think it is a message, Milo said finally. It is short, and it repeats. Whoever sent it wants someone to notice. Koro tilted its head. Do you think humans sent it? Milo thought for a moment. Maybe, but it could be something else too. A machine, or a signal from far away. I don't know. But I want to find out. Night after night, Milo returned to the balcony. He and Koro would watch the sky together, drawing the lights and trying to understand the code. Milo realized that Koro was learning too. The alien had never paid attention to small details before. Now, Koro noticed patterns, shapes, and rhythms that no other alien could see. One evening, Milo spotted something new. Look, he whispered. The lights, they are moving in a path, like they are pointing somewhere. Koro leaned closer. Yes. I see it. A line, ending far beyond the city. Milo's heart beat faster. We have to follow it. I want to know where it leads. Koro's eyes shimmered. Do you trust it? Milo nodded firmly. Yes. Humans always try to find answers. That is what makes us human. He smiled at Koro. And maybe we can figure it out together. That night, Milo could not sleep. He kept thinking about the lights, the patterns, and the strange rhythm that seemed alive. For the first time, he felt that being human was special here on this alien world. Humans could notice things others ignored. They could see solutions where others saw nothing. The next day, Milo began to prepare. He gathered small tools and notes, ready to map the lights more accurately. Koro came with him, curious and eager. We will need patience, Koro said. It may take time to understand. Milo smiled. I don't mind. Humans are good at waiting and watching. We notice things slowly, carefully, and then, we understand. That evening, as the sky darkened, Milo and Koro climbed onto the balcony together. The city lights below flickered, but above them, the mysterious lights began to glow again. Milo traced them with his finger, drawing new lines in his notebook. Koro hummed softly, following Milo's observations with careful eyes. This is exciting, Milo said. I feel like we are the first ones to see this. Maybe we are the first to understand it? Koro nodded, its skin changing colors slowly, like soft waves. You humans, you see things others cannot. That is remarkable. Milo laughed softly. Maybe. Or maybe we just never give up trying. Together, they watched the lights, night after night, forming small patterns, drawing small lines, and slowly understanding a secret the city above and the sky beyond had hidden for centuries. For Milo, the balcony was no longer just a place to look down at the city, it was a place to look out at the universe, and to discover what only humans could see. And so began their nights together, Milo and Koro, watching, learning, and finding answers in the stars. A friendship was forming, a bond built on curiosity and understanding, and the first sparks of a great discovery were quietly glowing above them. Night had fallen once again over the glowing city. Milo stood on his balcony, notebook in hand, eyes fixed on the sky. The stars above were countless, but tonight, his focus was on the blinking lights, the same ones that had caught his attention since the first night. They moved in patterns that felt almost alive. Milo tapped his pen against the notebook, thinking hard. Koro appeared beside him, silent as always, its colors shifting softly in the dim light. "The lights are different tonight," Koro said. Milo nodded. "Yes. Look at them, they are forming longer lines. And some of the blinking patterns repeat more clearly. I think it is more than just a message. It might be instructions, or coordinates." Koro hummed and leaned closer, eyes wide. "Coordinates? You mean, directions?" "Yes," Milo said, excitement rising in his chest. "Someone, or something, is trying to guide us. We just have to understand the code." He began to map the lights more carefully. Lines and dots filled page after page, along with simple notes about timing and distance between the flashes. Koro watched, occasionally pointing out connections that Milo had missed. Together, they worked quietly, listening to the hum of the city below and the faint whispers of wind above. Hours passed, and slowly, Milo began to see a pattern. "Look, Koro," he said, pointing at the notebook. "These sequences repeat every few minutes. And if we connect the points, it forms a path in the sky. Almost like a trail." Koro's eyes shimmered. "A trail to where?" Milo shrugged. "I don't know yet. But it is definitely heading somewhere. It is deliberate. Someone wants this path to be noticed." The thrill of discovery made Milo's heart beat faster. He had always loved puzzles, but this was more than a puzzle, it was a signal, a secret waiting to be uncovered. He had an idea. "If we follow the pattern carefully, maybe we can trace its origin," he said. "We can find out who sent it, or what it is." Koro tilted its head. "Do you think it is from humans?" Milo thought for a moment. "Maybe. Humans are explorers. But it could be a machine too, or even something that has been drifting in space for a long time. Whatever it is important. And I want to find it." Night after night, Milo and Koro worked. They refined their maps, compared old notes, and tried to predict where the next flashes would appear. Slowly, a hidden signal began to emerge. The lights were not random, they were a form of communication, using a system Milo had never seen before, but which made sense in its own way. One evening, Milo noticed a new detail. The pattern seemed to outline a position far beyond the colony, past the glowing city and even past the mountains in the distance. "Koro, look," Milo whispered. "It is pointing to a location in space. Far away, maybe hundreds of miles from here." Koro's skin shimmered brighter than usual. "A location in space? That is remarkable. Few creatures could interpret this." Milo's eyes gleamed with excitement. I think it is a human ship. One that was lost years ago. This signal, it is trying to guide someone to it. Koro leaned closer, curiosity clear in every movement. Why would a human ship send signals now? It has been lost for a long time. Milo shrugged. Maybe its systems only just restarted. Or maybe it was always sending signals, but no one noticed. Until now. He looked up at the sky, filled with the blinking lights that had become so familiar. We are the first to see this. We can be the first to understand it. Koro hummed, a sound that felt like agreement. Then we must be careful. You humans are clever. Perhaps together, we can follow the path safely. Milo smiled. Yes. Together. Over the next few nights, they fine-tuned their observations. Milo noticed small variations in the timing of the lights, subtle differences that seemed like extra information hidden inside the main pattern. He realized the lights were not just coordinates, they were instructions, telling whoever followed them exactly how to reach the source. Milo's excitement grew. Humans were known for curiosity, for problem-solving, and for not giving up. He felt proud of his species. No alien had noticed this before. No alien had thought to study these lights so carefully. But humans could see connections others could not. Humans could solve puzzles that seemed impossible. Finally, one night, Milo traced the pattern fully. The lights formed a clear path, ending in a spot far beyond the city. Milo and Koro stared at it in awe. We have it, Milo whispered. We know where it is. Now we just need to follow it. Koro's colors shifted rapidly, showing excitement. You humans, you see what others miss. You understand what others cannot. This is remarkable. Milo nodded, his heart racing. Yes. And tonight, we will take the first steps. We will see where the lights lead. Something is waiting out there, something that only humans can find. The balcony had become more than a place to watch the sky. It was a laboratory, a map room, and a bridge to discovery. Milo felt a thrill of purpose he had never known before. With Koro beside him, he was ready to follow the stars and uncover the secret that had waited, hidden, for decades. And so, under the quiet glow of the night sky, Milo traced the path of the lights once more, ready for the adventure that was just beginning. The night was quiet, but Milo felt a rush of energy. After nights of careful observation, mapping, and decoding, he and Koro finally had the full pattern of the mysterious lights. It pointed to a location far beyond the colony, into the dark stretches of space. Milo could hardly believe it. Something, or someone, was out there waiting for them. We have the coordinates, Milo said, pointing to the notebook filled with careful sketches and notes. All we need now is a way to reach it. Koro hummed, its skin shimmering in soft colors. The city ships may help, but the leaders are cautious. They do not trust unknown signals. Milo nodded. I understand. But we cannot wait. If the signal is from a lost human ship, every moment matters. We have to find a way. The two of them went to the command center of the colony the next day. Milo presented the decoded pattern and explained the possible location of the signal. The alien leaders listened, but their faces were calm, their expressions unreadable. This is dangerous, one of the elders said. We cannot risk our ships on an unknown signal. It may be a trap. Milo's chest tightened. He had expected resistance, but he refused to give up. With all due respect, he said carefully, the lights are not random. They are deliberate. They are a guide. I have studied the pattern for nights. If we act, we can follow it safely. The leaders murmured among themselves. Koro stood beside Milo, calm but alert, ready to support him. Finally, after tense moments, the chief elder spoke. We will not risk our ships, but a small experimental craft may go. You, human, will lead it. And Koro may accompany you. Milo's heart leapt. I understand. Thank you. That evening, Milo prepared the small craft on the colony's launch platform. It was modest, designed for observation rather than speed or defense, but it was enough. He carefully entered his coordinates, double-checked the patterns, and confirmed that Koro would be his companion. The balcony that had been his place of observation now felt like a starting point for adventure. Milo looked up at the sky, tracing the lights with his eyes one last time. We are ready, he said quietly. Koro tilted its head. The path is clear. Trust your human instincts. Milo nodded, gripping the controls. The engines hummed, and the craft lifted slowly into the night sky. Below, the colony faded into a sea of lights, and above, the stars stretched endlessly. The blinking lights of the pattern guided them, almost like a glowing road in space. Milo felt a mix of fear and excitement. Humans had always been explorers, and now he was taking the first steps into the unknown. Hours passed as they followed the signal. Milo watched the blinking lights carefully, adjusting their course with every new pattern. Koro studied alongside him, pointing out small details Milo might have missed. The farther they went, the darker and emptier space became. Occasionally, a distant asteroid passed, reflecting the faint light of the colony behind them. Suddenly, the lights changed. The path that had been steady now seemed to scatter. Milo's hands tightened on the controls. Koro, something is different. The pattern is breaking. Koro's skin shimmered rapidly. It may be interference. Or the signal is adjusting. Do not panic. Humans can solve this. Milo took a deep breath. He remembered nights on the balcony, studying patterns, learning to notice small differences. You're right, he said. We can do this. We just need patience and careful observation. Slowly, he traced the new flashes, noting their rhythm. It was like a puzzle shifting before him, but Milo was determined. Hours passed, but finally, the signal reformed, clearer than before. Milo adjusted the craft's path and followed it steadily, the excitement returning. But the challenge was not over. A small cluster of asteroids appeared ahead, moving unpredictably. Milo realized they had to navigate carefully, or the craft could be damaged. Koro, we need a plan, he said. Koro's eyes glowed. Use the timing of the lights. The pattern can guide you between the obstacles. Milo nodded, studying the blinking lights as they reflected off the nearby asteroids. He calculated the movement, timing each maneuver with precision. Slowly, carefully, the craft weaved between the rocks. Milo's hands worked the controls smoothly, Koro guiding him when needed. Finally, the last asteroid passed, and the craft emerged into open space. The blinking lights resumed a steady, clear pattern, pointing them forward. Milo exhaled deeply, relief flooding him. We did it, he whispered. We made it through. Koro hummed softly. Your human skill, your patience, it saved us. Few could succeed like this. Milo smiled, tired but exhilarated. I guess humans have a way of noticing things others might miss. And we never give up. As the craft moved further along the lighted path, Milo realized that this was only the beginning. Something was waiting ahead, and humans and Koro were ready to face it. The balcony, the nights of observation, and the careful study of patterns had prepared him for this moment. The stars above were no longer distant and quiet, they were alive with possibility. Milo gripped the controls, his heart filled with determination. Whatever lay ahead, he would find it. Humans had always been explorers, and this was his first real adventure. The stars stretched endlessly before Milo and Koro as their small craft glided along the path of blinking lights. Milo's hands moved steadily over the controls, following the precise rhythm of the signal. The closer they got, the brighter the lights appeared, almost like a guiding lantern in the vast darkness of space. Every flicker seemed meaningful, every pause a clue. Milo's heart beat faster with anticipation. "This is incredible," Milo whispered. "We are so close. I can almost feel it." Koro tilted its head, observing the instruments. "Yes. The signal strengthens. Whatever is sending it, it wants to be found." As they approached the final coordinates, Milo saw a faint outline of a structure in the distance. It was not like any building he had seen on the colony. It floated silently in the emptiness of space, its surface metallic but worn, with dim lights blinking intermittently. Milo's eyes widened. That has to be it. The source of the signal." Koro's skin shimmered brightly. "It matches the path exactly. You humans, your observations are precise." Milo's excitement was mixed with caution. The structure was clearly old, perhaps abandoned, but the signal remained active. "We need to get closer," he said. "But carefully. We don't know what condition it's in." They guided the craft slowly toward the floating structure. Milo noticed panels that had shifted, small antennas bent, and faint signs of previous activity. "It's been here a long time," he said. "But the signal, it is still functioning. Someone or something wants to communicate." As they reached the docking area, Milo prepared the craft to attach safely. He checked the controls, the clamps, and the lights on the structure. "Almost there," he said. "Steady now." Koro pointed to a series of blinking lights on the surface of the structure. "Those lights, they respond to your movement. It is interactive. The structure is guiding you." Milo's eyes sparkled. "Like a puzzle. Just like the balcony. We solved the pattern in the sky, and now it's a puzzle here." Carefully, he followed the lights, adjusting the craft's position. Each move caused the lights to change, forming new sequences. Milo realized that the structure was sending instructions, guiding him to a safe entry point. "It's testing us," he said. "We have to follow carefully." Koro hummed in agreement. "Your human patience, it is essential now." Finally, the craft reached the docking port. Milo secured it and prepared to exit. "Ready?" he asked. Koro nodded. "Let us discover." Inside the structure, Milo and Koro found a control room filled with old consoles, flickering screens, and panels covered in dust. Milo brushed off the grime, revealing symbols that matched the blinking lights outside. This is incredible," he said. "It's a ship. A human ship. Lost for decades. But somehow, it is still alive." Koro moved carefully, scanning the room. "Systems are fragile. Your human touch must be precise." Milo began to study the consoles, noting the patterns on the screens. He realized the ship had some remaining power, enough to operate basic functions, but nothing more. We can test some systems, he said. See if we can revive part of it. Hours passed as Milo and Koro worked together. Milo's human intuition guided them, noticing connections in circuits that Koro could not see alone. Slowly, lights began to flicker steadily, and the consoles responded. The ship hummed quietly, like it was waking from a long sleep. Milo smiled. It's working. We are bringing it back to life. Koro observed, clearly impressed. Few could understand this. You're kind, humans, you persist when others might give up. Milo laughed softly. It's in our nature. We notice things, we try, we solve. And we never stop learning. Finally, one console lit fully, displaying a message from decades ago, coordinates, mission logs, and a note from the crew. Milo's eyes widened. This is it. We have found a lost human ship, and now, we can understand its story. Koro hummed softly, shifting its colors like a gentle wave. You humans, remarkable. You saw the signal, followed it, and revived what was lost. Few species could accomplish this. Milo nodded, feeling proud and determined. It's not just me. It's curiosity, persistence, and noticing what others might miss. That's human strength. And together, we've discovered something extraordinary. As they stood in the control room, Milo realized the ship was more than a relic. It was a reminder of human ingenuity, a testament to curiosity, and proof that humans could make a difference even far from Earth. The balcony, the nights of observation, the puzzles in the sky, they had all led to this moment. The adventure was just beginning. Milo and Koro had found the source of the signal, but the ship held more secrets, more discoveries, and more challenges. And Milo knew one thing clearly: humans, with their curiosity and persistence, were capable of extraordinary things. Milo and Koro floated through space, guiding the revived human ship carefully back toward the colony. Milo's heart was full of pride and excitement. After nights on his balcony, following blinking lights, decoding signals, and exploring the lost ship, he had finally uncovered a treasure trove of knowledge. And now, they were bringing it home, ready to share it with the world. This is it, Milo said softly. The colony will see what humans can do. Not just me, but all humans. Curiosity, patience, and persistence, that's what brought us here. Koro hummed, its skin glowing softly. It is remarkable. Few species could achieve this. Your human ingenuity shines brighter than many realize. The colony appeared below them, a web of glowing lights stretching across the plains. Ships moved gracefully between towers, and aliens of all kinds went about their routines. Milo could feel their curiosity already. The humans and aliens alike would be eager to see what he had discovered. As they approached the docking area, Milo guided the ship smoothly into place. Koro assisted with calculations and adjustments, ensuring a safe landing. When the ship touched down, Milo felt a thrill of accomplishment. Years of human innovation, preserved in this lost vessel, were now back in the hands of the colony. The colony leaders gathered to inspect the ship. Milo carefully explained the journey, from the discovery of the blinking lights to the decoding of the patterns and finally the revival of the ship. He showed them the data crystals, maps, and logs stored within. The leaders were silent for a moment, clearly impressed. This is extraordinary, one elder said finally. A human followed a signal, revived a lost ship, and uncovered knowledge that has been hidden for decades. Your species, humans, are indeed special. Milo smiled. It's not just me. Humans notice things others may overlook. We try when it is difficult. We solve problems and learn from them. That's what makes humans unique. Koro's colors shifted in approval. I have seen it firsthand. Humans can discover, persist, and innovate. You illuminate paths where others see only darkness. Soon, the colony organized a gathering to celebrate the discovery. Humans and aliens alike came to learn from Milo and Koro. Children pointed excitedly at the maps of stars, and students studied the experiments and logs recovered from the ship. Milo explained everything in simple, clear terms, making sure everyone could understand the journey and the discoveries. From that night on, Milo's balcony in the city became more than a place to watch the stars. It became a symbol of curiosity and discovery. Visitors would come to learn from Milo, following in his footsteps, observing patterns, asking questions, and solving puzzles. The balcony was now a classroom, a laboratory, and a reminder of what humans could achieve when they paid attention, worked hard, and never gave up. Koro stood beside Milo, quietly observing the activity below. It is inspiring, the alien said. Humans turn observation into understanding, curiosity into action. The balcony, it was the beginning of all this. Milo nodded. Yes. It started with a simple desire to notice something unusual in the sky. And now, look at what we've accomplished. As the sun rose over the colony, casting a soft glow on the buildings and streets, Milo felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The lost ship had been found, the knowledge recovered, and the lessons of persistence and observation shared with all. He realized that humans had a special ability not just to survive, but to explore, discover, and inspire. The blinking lights in the sky were no longer a mystery to him. They were a reminder of the power of curiosity, of seeing what others might miss, and of the importance of perseverance. Milo understood now that every human had this potential, waiting to be noticed, practiced, and shared. Koro's eyes glowed softly beside him. Humans have a gift. I am proud to have witnessed it. Your species, you make the universe brighter. Milo smiled, feeling a warmth inside that went beyond pride. We can all make a difference, he said. It starts with noticing, understanding, and trying. That's what humans do. Years later, Milo's balcony remained a place where humans and aliens alike came to watch the sky, to learn, and to explore. Children traced patterns in the stars, students mapped signals, and explorers prepared for journeys beyond the colony, inspired by Milo's work. The lost human ship was studied, its knowledge shared, and its story told across generations. And every night, Milo would step onto the balcony, gaze at the blinking lights in the sky, and remember the journey that began with simple observation, curiosity, and determination. Humans had a spark, a unique light, and Milo knew that as long as people were willing to notice, to learn, and to persist, the universe held endless possibilities. The city lights below and the stars above seemed to shine just a little brighter that night, as if celebrating the human spirit itself. Milo felt a quiet pride, knowing that humans had not only discovered a lost ship, they had proven that curiosity, patience, and ingenuity could leave a legacy that inspired all of space. And so, under the night sky, on a balcony high above the colony, the story of human brilliance continued, one observation, one discovery, and one night at a time.